Psalm 78 verse 1.
Psalm 78 verse 1.
Give ear,
Give ear,
all my people,
all my people,
to my laws.
to my laws.
Incline your ears
Incline your ears
to the words of my mouth.
to the words of my mouth.
John chapter 6 verse 4.
Romans chapter 6 verse 4.
Hear, O Jacob,
Hear, O Jacob,
a higher our
a
power
higher power
is one power.
is one power.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 8.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 8.
Remember the Sabbath day.
Remember the Sabbath day.
Remember.
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 Thus says a higher.
Thus says a higher.
Thus says the king of Judah.
Thus says the king of Judah.
Thus says the king of Jacob.
Thus says the king of Jacob.
Thus said,
Thus says,
I am that I am.
that I am that I am.
Remember
Remember
the Sabbath
the
day.
Sabbath day.
The Sabbath
The
day.
Sabbath day.
To keep it holy.
Keep it holy.
So be it.
So be it.
Greetings from the bride of Canaan unto the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, of day of the patience of the kingdom of Yeshua, and also of the hope of the resurrection. My salutations with the hands unto the believers, saying Shalom.
Shalom, Israel.
And to the non-believers, we say repent, for the kingdom is at hand. Good afternoon. Title of the lesson: Wonders of our highest creation, Hour of Darkness, Part 2 continues on this section of the Sabbath. Now, if you be the Most High's will, according to James chapter 4, verse 14 through 15, 1 Corinthians 16, 7, Acts 18, 21, 22, we will do our due diligence to conclude the lesson of the Sabbath. So let's go to Genesis 1, 26. The King James Version, the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image. So take note. God said, let us make man. Let us. English is very simple. Us is not a singular tense. Us is a plural tense. Okay, so let us. So who are these God that make us? So who are these God that decide to make us? Who are the existence of they here on the earth under the sun? And God said, let us make man in our image. Man is not woman. Okay, man is man. Is that understood? So let us make the man, which is the superior being, in our image. Okay, so let's bring out something first. So God said, let us make man in our image. Understand therefore that image represents the sculpture or the sketching or the epitome of an object. For those who don't understand this grammar, once you use your 2B pencil or your HB pencil or a biro, and you have a draft or a paper, and then you begin to draw, let's say, a cup. When you draw that cup, once you are through drawing that cup is an image, no be so. So that cup has a form. Because every image has a form, no be so. So the Bible says, and God said, let us make man in our image. So in order for us to know what is the image of this God, he represents his image so that we can understand who created them. Because you cannot say, okay, I exist on the earth. I don't know who my maker is. So what the maker did is this. He said, okay, I will create other things like the fish, like the lizards, like the reptilians, the aquatic, the carnivorous, so on and so forth, the flying birds. But let me make something in our image that look like us, so that there will not be confusion. It's very simple to understand. So what God did is that among all his creatures that he created, so he makes something similar to him in appearance. I hope you are following. So, and God said, let us make man in our image. Through man, we can understand God's image. Because this God must be a man. But the thing there is that he said us. We will not deal with just one line and leave the other line undone. But let's deal with this man, and then we'll deal with both male and female. Okay, because this man and this woman, in this very particular precept, they both have the representation of the image of God. Because man is a God, woman is a God. You don't get it twisted. All these goddesses, they are saying goddess or no goddesses, God is God. The word God just simply means power. Every spirit or every being has a power, not be so. Your eye is a power to see. Your nose is a power to smell. Your leg is a power to walk. Every single creation of the Most High has a power. Animals have power. Men has power. The aquatic has power. The flying birds have power. You have leg to walk is a power. I am strong. I have power to do these tasks. That's power. That's God. It's just the grammar. That's why I say English is very important. And the semantics, which is the meaning of that syntax, which is the word. Both male and female are God. But in this first line, it says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. After our likeness, image first. Image is one thing. So consider the image. Then it says, after our likeness. The likeness here represents the dominion, the rulership, the power, the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding. That is the likeness. Liken unto. Liken unto is not the same, but it's liken unto, likeness, like us, liken unto us. But the image is the first one, which is our shape, our figure. So after we have made them in our shape, in our drawing, and give them some of our attributes in that image, let also give them some of the attributes of our power, which is in the knowledge and wisdom, which is the use of his operation. Let me go there. Hold on. The King James Version, Ecclesiastes 17, I start from verse 4. And put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. They received this, now pay attention to verse 5. 2 Ezra 17 verse 5. They received in the Apocrypha, they received the use of the 5 operation of the Lord. So man received the 5 use of the operation of the Lord. And in the 6th place, listen very carefully. And in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding. And in the 7th, speech. That is the likeness. So in the 6th place, God gave man understanding. Then in the 7th, God gave man speech, an interpreter of the cogitation thereof. Cogitation means your thoughts. Then he says counsel, tongue, eyes, ears, heart. Gave them to understand. So God gave man understanding to understand the use of his operation. Something similar to them. The ear, the eye, the speech, the understanding. I'm not making this up. So God made man in his image, then gave man his likeness. The likeness represents the power or the dominion or the understanding. To understand what he created, how to use them, and their importance. What they represent, how to behave yourself. Also to respect him and to keep his laws and his commandments. Let's go back there. The King James Version, the book of Genesis, chapter 1 verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image. So God made man in his drawing, after our likeness. So God gave man some of his dominion or power, and let them have dominion. Exactly, that's what he's saying next. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. Now in a moment of time, we will look at the image of God, because God must have an image for him to make us in his image. Not be so. Now we are not speaking about God's glory. God's glory is luminant, it's very bright, it's shining. Yes, we know that. But God has an image. Angels have an image. Not be so. So Christians don't understand this thing. They say God don't have an image. God is just a bright light. You are confused. You are a confused creature. That creature is confused. Because the Most High God is not the author of confusion. God said, I make man in my image. If you know what image means, you went to school, that's so supposed to know that image represents person. So God has an image, but God's glory is that light. Not be so. That light is Christ. Does Christ have an image? Yes. That's why Christ told Philip, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father. That is John 14 verse 9. Because the Father has an image. That's why Christ told Philip on the earth, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father, because I look like the Father. Because Christ is the express image. Like the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 1 to 3 says, is the express image. Look up the word express image. Express image means carbon copy. Meaning that they are identical. They look alike. Not be so. So God made man in his image. That's his drawing. Then he said in his likeness. That's the power, the dominion, the wisdom, the understanding, to keep his laws, to understand the creation, the things he made, and to have dominion over them, to set the earth in order, to respect his laws, not to go against it and say Sunday when God says Sabbath day. That's a fool. And God said, let us make man in our image. So God made man in his image. God has an image. Angels have image. But angels' glory, there is no way that they so in this time can see them, because men has lost their power. But before, we see angels as they are. But now the only thing we see about angels is their glory, their light, that star, that sun, that moon. What be so? That star, that sun, that moon, that hoar frost, that thick mist you see in the sky. That thick mist is the glory of an angel. That is the power that come out of the angel. But the angel that extrudes that power, you cannot see it, because man's sin won't let you to see it. Because man has lost his power from 100% to 10%. So the only thing that you can see now is the smoke, the flare. Theologians don't break down this to people. That's what they don't know. But yet the understanding is simple. People don't read Bible for themselves to get the understanding and ask deep question. Challenge them, they will not kill you. They will not kill you. There's no way if you ask a theologian, ask question, and he's pursuing you away, that theologian is hiding something from you. God has an image, but the real image, there is no way you can see it, because this nature of flesh will not let you to see because of sin. But in the original nature of our flesh is not subservient or subjected to the things of the heaven. Our flesh can go into the heaven before. There's no such thing as flesh being weak, not to go to heaven. No, it's your power. It's part of your makeup or your creation. Angels have flesh in them, not be so. Angels have flesh in them. When they go to the heaven, that flesh is still there, but they translate to fit in that kingdom or that place or location where they are. That flesh does not go away. That flesh is not weak. It's strong. Flesh is immortal. It is sin. It is sin that make people think that flesh is perishable. Flesh was never perishable before. Because when Adam has not sinned, Adam don't know death. Once you don't know death, nothing can kill you. Your flesh cannot die, just as your spirit cannot die. Every spirit cannot die. So with your flesh. The reason why your flesh is dying and getting old and having wrinkles because of sin. So God will remove percentage of power from your flesh. Then of your spirit, God remove knowledge from you. Until man realize that fault and begin to study, get back in order, then that spirit will not recover himself bit by bit. Then for your flesh, it will not be when Christ comes to bring that immortality back to the flesh. I hope you are following. The reason why Christians are teaching that God does not have shape, God is just one bright orb of light. No, God is not just a bright orb of light that is omnipresent, that is everywhere. No, God is an image. But the power that comes out of that image, God is an image that He made Himself to appear. So in that image that God made Himself to appear, He made man in that image. So in that image comes power, the flare. You understand what I'm saying? The glory, the things that you cannot bear in this time because of your sin and wickedness and evil to this day. That's why they don't have the understanding. The same sin and evil that people are doing to this day is what is blocking their understanding from doing this thing. That's why God don't reveal it to any persons. It's not by face or appearance. No, God don't judge that way. God judge the heart of man. What is that soul's mind? They will say, this guy is too aggressive, he's too this, he's too that. That's how you see. That's not the way God sees. God chooses Himself to increase the wisdom. God studies the ways of man. Because once you think in your heart, I don't know. Unless God tell me so. So God has an image that He made Himself and create man in that same image or structure or sketching or drawing. Then He gave him power so that man that has power of his likeness can teach and set the earth in order, so that if anyone go out of order, whosoever among those men that have the understanding, like we just showed in the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 17 verse 4 to 5, can set that soul in order, who is out of order, that look, go back to your maker, be subservient and be subject unto him. This is He who made you. This is the laws that He gave to you, as you are seeing this day. So God has an image, just as angel has image, but there is no way you can see spirits. No be so. So there is no way you can see the Most High God unless He manifests Himself to you. Remove the light from Him. Unless God tune the lights low. So if God tune the lights low, then you will see the image sitting on that throne. Because men sit on throne, not be so. So if men sit on throne and God sit on throne, it is because men get that understanding from the Most High. Not be so. Okay, because the understanding of thrones come from the Most High. Because the Most High sit on throne. That's why He made man in His image. And that's why you see kings on the earth sit on throne. Because men and the Most High, they are man and sit on throne. They have the same shape and figure. It's very simple to understand. If the Most High wants that soul to see Him, all the Most High need to do is to turn down the light. Then that soul will not begin to see the Most High. Then the Most High will not begin to appear. Then that soul will not do see His maker. It's that simple. But not to say that God don't have an image, and yet the Bible said that God made man in His own image. That's confusion. God is a spirit. Does man not have spirit in them? Does your spirit not have shape? Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea. Then in verse 27, so God created man in His own image, or in His image, because all His slanted, so it was added. But nevertheless, so God created man in His image. In the image of God, create he him. So in the image of God, create he. He is the man, him is the Most High. So the Most High say him. Then he says, male and female created he them. Then afterward, God now created female. God didn't create male and female at the same time, no. Genesis chapter 2 proves to you that God made man first. Then afterward, he made the female. Like I've said, the Bible is not chronologically arranged. So that's why precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. But the point there is that God made man in his image, male and female, created he them. Before we now look at the female, let's see the male. Because the Bible says God created man in his image. In the image, God created he him. So God is a he. Then God created him, which is you and I, that are male. Let's now see the highlights of what the Bible says God look like. Now I know that I have woolly hair. So a woolly hair person must be a brown skin or dark brown or sort of black skin. No be so. There is no way Caucasians or Mongolians have woolly hair. There's no race in this world that has woolly texture of hair. The only race that has woolly texture of hair. Do your research. This one is not argument. I'm not arguing with anybody. Just do your research. Just go on Google and type woolly hair. The only race of people in this planet, as far as this ground or this dry ground is concerned, is the black, Negro, nigger, Sudan, Afro. These are the people that has woolly hair. So-called black man here in sub-Sahara or sub-Saharan Africa. Let's now go to the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9, to get the biblical structure of the Most High. Because the Most High does not leave himself empty. God gave his servants, his saints, a trace of himself, so that even if the serpent and his people try to come against his word, they will not be able to stand them. The King James Version, Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld, the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. Ancient of Days is the Most High, not Christ. He will tell you that. And the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow. Was white as snow. God's garment is not snow. God's garment is white. So God is God that they say that doesn't have an image, that they say he just one up of light. Daniel said he saw him wearing a garment. So when Daniel went into the heaven, Daniel saw God that made all things. The God of the Ifrit, the God of the Abantu, the God of Jacob. Can light wear garment? Can this without shape wear garment? No, because if this without shape wear garment, how will you know it's a garment he's wearing? So that thing must have a shape for Daniel to know in the spirit in the seventh heaven that person is a person. Because it must be a person to wear a garment. If not, you don't know. So when Daniel was brought to the seventh heaven, Daniel saw an image of someone called Ancient of Days wearing a garment. Therefore, if this being wear a garment, this being must have an image. Not be so. Because this being is the Most High God. I beheld, the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow. So God's garment is not snow, but it's white as snow. White as snow. A similitude, meaning snow color, because snow is white. So the garment has the color of snow. That's why I say, whose garment is as white as snow. It's not a snow, but it has the color of a snow. Hope you are following. Yes. And the hair of his head, like the pure wool. I'm not making this up. So the Bible said that and the hair, the texture of his hair has the texture of wool. That's why I asked initially, which race of people have woolly texture? The only race of people that has woolly texture are the black race, the Negro. Therefore, the Most High power, the Most High God is a black man. Him that hears, so you let him hear. Whose garment was white like snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. Verse 10. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands minister unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. Verse 13. I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days. So the Ancient of Days is not Christ. I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man is Christ, came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him, and there was giving him is this Son of Man, and there was giving him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and language should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion. So this Son of Man in verse 13 is Christ. The Ancient of Days is the Most High. Is that understood? Isaiah 6 verse 1, let's go.
King James, the book of Isaiah 6 verse 1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon the throne.
In the year that King Uzziah died, Isaiah the prophet was also taken to the seventh heaven, just like Daniel was taken to the seventh heaven. So Isaiah the prophet saw the Most High sitting on the throne, that in a matter of 2 or 3 witnesses, like Deuteronomy 19 verse 15 says, and Matthew 18:16 says, everyone is established. I saw the Lord sitting on the throne. So there is a throne. Isaiah saw a throne. Daniel saw a throne. Read.
High and lifted.
So it says high and lifted up. So that throne is very huge. Read.
And his train filled the temple.
Then it says, and his train filled the temple. This train here is a garment. Let's now look at the Dead Sea Scrolls of the same chapter and verse. Dead Sea Scrolls, Isaiah 6 verse 1. In the day that King Uzziah died, I saw my Lord sitting on his throne, high and exalted, and the skirt of his robe. Robe is what? R-O-B, not P-O. R-O-P-E is what used to spread clothes. R-O-B-E. B for ball. What is robe?
Clothes or garments.
Come for your dad. Because robe is a garment. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, it gave us more information that train that the regular King James Version use is actually garment or robe. Because robe and garment are synonymous in meaning. Is that understood? So as I saw the Most High God sitting on a huge throne, that's why he says high and lifted up. Is that understood?
Yes.
Alright. Let's now go back to the King James Version. And let's look at the Strong Concordance. I believe we say skirt or something. Now watch this. This is the Strong Concordance 87757 for train. By definition, it says meaning to hang down, a skirt. By implication, a bottom edge, hem, skirt, train. The train is another word for the skirt. The skirt represents the bottom of a garment or the bottom of a robe, because the bottom of a robe looks like a skirt of a woman, because it's exposed under. It's not divided. It's not parted. It doesn't look like a hosen because it's a garment. It's a kaftan. A kaftan edge or bottom looks like a woman's skirt. Is that understood? So to prove that the Most High is wearing a garment, Enoch 14 verse 8.
Enoch 14 verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And the vision appeared to me as follows.
Mm-hmm.
Behold,
Mm-hmm.
clouds called me in the vision,
Mm-hmm.
and mist called me, and the path of the stars, and flashes of lightning hastened me and drove me.
Mm-hmm.
And in the vision, winds caused me to fly, and hastened me, and lifted me up into the sky.
And Enoch was taken into the heaven, verse 18.
And I looked,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw in it.
So now Enoch has ascended to the highest of heaven. And Enoch got to the highest heaven in verse 18. Enoch now looked and saw. What did Enoch see?
And I saw in it a high throne.
So Enoch saw a high throne. So Enoch saw a being, which is the Most High God, sitting on a throne, like Isaiah and Daniel, that in a matter of 2 or 3 witnesses, like Deuteronomy 19 verse 15 says, everyone is established. Here is my third witness, Enoch. Enoch saw the Most High sitting on a high throne. Isaiah saw the Most High sitting on a high and lifted up throne. Read.
And his appearance was like ice,
Uh-huh.
and his surrounds.
So Enoch saw the Most High's throne like the appearance of an ice. Enoch saw the Most High's throne like it unto ice. Not be so. The Most High's throne color is white. The seat of the Most High throne is white. Is that understood? Continue reading.
And its surrounds like the shining sun.
So the surrounding of the Most High's throne is like it unto the shining sun. So the Most High has a flare or a luminance that explodes like the sun. That's what Christians understand. Forgetting that there is a being behind that light and that throne. Read.
And its surrounds like the shining sun.
And the surrounding like a shining sun. Yeah, that's the glory. That's that orb of light that is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Read.
And the sound of cherubim. And from underneath the high throne, there flowed out rivers of fire.
And underneath the high throne, there flow out rivers of fire, like Daniel 7, verse 9 to 13 describe. Daniel said, and out of the throne went forth fiery stream, an issue of fire before and behind. So Enoch and Daniel is seeing the same thing. Read.
So that it was impossible to look at it.
So that it was impossible to look at that fire that burned under the Most High's feet. That's why no being can appear before the Most High except Christ. That's what John was speaking about. I brought down this lesson years ago. That's why no angel can appear before the Most High's face. It's because there is a fire that is burning in that floor. Not just fire, rivers of fire. What you call volcano. That's that lake of fire that will burn both man and angels. Angels in the heaven, the holy angels can't walk and appear before the Most High's face. They cannot do that because volcano is very hot for them to step in. Even if these angels are angels of fire, they cannot bear volcano. It's too hot for them. This for those that have wisdom. This one is strong meat, I know. That's why no angel, no spirit, no man can appear before the Most High's face to take that book in God's right hand The reason why no being that John described in Revelations, the reason why no being in heaven that John was weeping can come before the Most High's face and take that book from his right hand was because there is a fire that burned under the Most High's feet. That fire is not ordinary fire. It is rivers of fire. River is a water. This water is not ordinary water that you drink. It's not your ocean water. This water is volcano that has lava. Because volcano is a river of fire that is burning. And God is stepping on it consistently every single day for eternity. That's why no being can approach it. No being is more holy to step there except Christ. Isaiah, Daniel, they witness this thing. If you say I don't have Enoch, look up Daniel 7 verse 9 to 13. Daniel says, and rivers of fire issue forth from before and behind him, behind the Most High and in front of the Most High. River of fire is just flowing and God's feet is stepping on it. That is that same rivers of fire that burn under the earth. That's what the Bible calls lake of fire, because a lake is a water. Rivers of fire, lake of fire, lake of fire, water of fire, rivers of fire. The same thing. That's a volcano. Volcano is a river of fire or lake of fire. Is that understood? Read.
And he who is great in glory sat upon it.
Exactly, and he who is great in glory sat upon it. This is what Enoch witnessed. Daniel witnessed the same thing. He who is great in glory, that is that ancient of days, sat on a throne where there is rivers of fire burning. That's what the book of Deuteronomy 4 verse 24 says, that the Lord God is a consuming fire. Is that understood? Read.
And his raiment was brighter than the sun.
And his raiment was brighter than the sun. So Enoch saw God wearing a garment, and God's garment is brighter than the sun. That's why Christians think that God does not have a shape or an image or a form. God has a form, but God's glory or splendor or luminance or flare is so bright. But behind that brightness, there is an image here. Read.
And he who is great in glory sat upon it.
And he who is great in glory sat upon it. Now when Enoch came into the heaven, Enoch had a covering on his face to be able to see this thing. There was a covering placed on Enoch's face. That's why the cherubims that have 6 wings, they block their face.
And he who is great in glory sat upon it. And his raiment was brighter than the sun. And whiter than any snow.
And whiter than any snow. And whiter than any snow. The same thing Daniel was seeing. And his garment was as white as snow. Enoch is seeing the same thing, not be so. Read.
And no angel could enter. And at the appearance of the face of him who is honored and praised,
yes,
no creature of flesh could look.
No creature of flesh could look except there's a covering. You see that? Are we following? It's very easy to understand. If God does not have an image, there is no way that God will wear a clothes. And there is no way Enoch will sit still on the throne. So God definitely has an image and has a color. The only race of people that has woolly hair are black people. The Most High God, without the light, God without the light is a black man. God without the light that shine, that is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Without that light, God in his origin, in the origin he make himself to appear. God is a dark-skinned man. But if the light is present, you will not be able to see him if he doesn't want you to see him. But if God wants you to see him, you will see God. So that's why through scripture, God let us to know his image through his hair. Because God made man in his image. And the only man on earth, the only race on earth that has woolly hair is only the dark race. I hope we are following. All right.
22. A sea of fire burnt around him, and a great fire stood in front of him.
And a great fire stood in front of him. I pray down this lesson. Those great fire that stood before the Most High God, there is 7 archangels, there is 7 holy angels of the 7 churches. These are the angels of fire that John recorded. I'm not making this up. I prayed down this lesson years ago. Take your time and read your precept in Revelations 4. John described these angels, okay, that stand before the Most High's throne. These are angels of fire, okay? That is that pillar of fire that stood in front of him. Read.
And a great fire stood in front of him.
Yes.
And none of those around him came near to him.
You see that? And none of those that are around him came near to him. Read.
10,000 times 10,000 stood before him.
Yes.
But he needed no holy counsel.
Yes.
And the only ones who were near to him did not live by night or day, and did not depart from him. And until then, I had a covering on my face.
And until then, I had a covering on my face. So Enoch had a covering on his face to be able to see God's image, how it looks like, to describe it in what we are reading now. Read.
As I trembled, and the Lord called me with his own mouth, and said to me, Come here, Enoch, to my holy word. And he lifted me up and brought me near to the door. And I looked with my face down.
Revelation 1 verse 9.
In the version, the book of Revelation 1 verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
I, John, who also am your brother
Mm-hmm.
and companion in tribulation,
Mm-hmm.
and in the kingdom and patience of Christ,
Mm-hmm.
was in the eye that is called Patmos,
Mm-hmm.
for the word of God
Yes.
and for the testimony of Christ.
Mm-hmm. To testify Christ, read on. Mm-hmm.
I was in the spirit on the Sabbath day.
So John was on the spirit on the Lord's day. The Lord's day is the Sabbath day. That's the true Lord's day. Sabbath day. God's day is Sabbath day, not Sunday. Read.
And heard behind me a
Mhm.
great voice,
Mhm.
as of a trumpet.
Mm-hmm. Saying what?
I am the Alpha and Omega,
Yes.
the first and the last.
Uh-huh.
And what thou seest,
Uh-huh.
write in a book.
So Christ told John, what you see with your own two, your eyes, Anyagi, what you see with your eyes, write it down in a book. Because there are a nation that is so stubborn that their neck is like iron that you cannot turn. So you, John, what you see, jot it down in a book. Read.
And send it to the 7 churches,
Yes.
which are in Asia,
Mm-hmm.
unto Ephesus,
Mm-hmm.
and unto Smyrna,
Mm-hmm.
and unto Pergamos,
Mm-hmm.
and unto Tyatira,
Mm-hmm.
and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia,
Yes.
and unto Laodicea.
Mm-hmm.
12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me.
Mm-hmm.
And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
John turned to see the voice that spake unto him. So now when John turned to see the voice, remember, Christ said, what you see, write it down in a book and send it. So John is about to write what he see. So John now turned in verse 12 to see who is now speaking to him, so that he can be able to write it down and send it to those that will read in this generation and believe in Christ. To testify Christ, to testify or confess Christ. Because Christ is about to describe his image. John saw his vision in the heaven. Read.
And I turned
So John had turned. Alright, let's go.
to see the voice that spake with me.
To see the voice that spoke with me.
And being turned,
And being turned,
I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
I saw 7 golden candlesticks in mystery. That's a mystery. Read.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
And in the midst of those 7 golden candlesticks,
one like unto the Son of a Man,
one likened unto the Son of Man. That's Christ. Go on.
clothed with a garment,
Clothed with a garment. So this Son of Man wear a garment. This Son of Man said, I am the Alpha and the Omega in verse 8. The first and the last. That is Christ. So this Son of Man clothed with a garment. The first and the last is Christ. It's not ordinary man. Understood?
Yes.
So this Son of Man that is clothed with a garment in the heaven that John is seeing. Not here on the earth, oh. John is seeing this vision in the heaven. So John is seeing Christ that is the express image of the Father, that looks like the Father in appearance, wearing a garment. Read.
clothed with a garment down to the foot,
Clothed with a garment down to the foot, just like the Most High God. So Christ wear a garment, a kaftan, agbada, down to the foot. Let's go.
and girt about the paps
And get about the past. That with a what?
with a golden girdle.
With a belt. Let's go.
14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Christ's hair and his head.
Were white like wool.
So Christ's hair and his hair were white like wool. So his edge and his hair. When he says his edge, it means the hair on his hair. When he says his hairs, it means the beard on his chin. Because Christ has beard on his chin. Give me the book of Isaiah 50 verse 6. Alright, let's read.
Okay, the book of Isaiah 50 verse 6. I gave my back to the smithers.
I gave my back to the smithers. Isaiah the prophet is speaking about Christ here, not himself. Read.
And my cheeks to them that pluck off the hair.
And my cheeks to them that plucked off the hair, because the Christ has beard on his cheeks. Let's go.
I hid not my face from shame.
I hid not my face from shame and spitting, because Christ was spit at and shamed. This is not Isaiah himself. This Isaiah speaking about Christ. It's not understood. Let's go. Verse 14.
His head
That means the hair on his head.
and his hairs
That means the hairs on his chin. Let's go.
were white like wool.
So Christ has a hair on his head and on his chin as the color of a wool. There's no race of people on the earth that has woolly hair except a black man. Christ is a grey-haired man. Grey hair is white, don't be so. Christ has a grey hair that's white texture because grey is white in nature. So Christ has a white woolly hair on his head and white woolly hair on his beard. Read.
As white as snow.
As white as snow is not a snow, but has the color of a snow. As a snow is not a snow, but has the color of a snow, likened unto a snow. Similar in color. Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
And Christ's eyes were as a flame of fire. Christ's eyes is not burning in fire. It was as a flame of fire. Meaning Christ's eyes is red. Because Christ drank wine. Give me that precept. Genesis 49 verse 12.
His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk.
His eyes shall be red with wine. So Christ's eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth with milk. So Christ drank wine. This is Jacob prophecy to Judah. And Christ came from Judah. From verse 8 to 12 is about Judah. Remember, Jacob told his son what will be at the last days. When Christ was born, that was the last days. So his eyes shall be red with wine, that is Christ, and his teeth white with milk. Let's not go back there. Verse 14.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So Christ's head, meaning the hair on his head and the hair on his chin, they were in the texture of wool, but white color, because wool is white. Then a man that has gray is white. Don't be so. Exactly, read.
As white as snow.
As white as snow, go on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Meaning he drank wine. Those that drink wine, their eyes will eventually turn red over time. Christ drank in moderation, but over time your eye color will change to red. Read.
15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace.
Read again.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
So John is not looking Christ's feet. John has said, this man's feet, this son of man's feet, the fourth and the last, when I look his feet is likened unto brass. What is the color of a brass? Brass has various color, light brown, dark brown. Now, John now gave more information. John said, as if they burn in a furnace. If you burn a light color brass that is light brown, or a dark color brass that is dark brown, if you burn it in a furnace, what color will it appear? Black. Because Christ, Yeshua, was a dark-skinned man that has woolly hair that is white. That's why John said, as if they burn in a furnace, as white as snow. Christ is not a snow, but Christ's hair has the color of a snow. Two things in common. They share things in common or in meaning. Not in nature, but in texture, which is the color. Christ's hair is not snow, but has the texture of a snow, which is the color of a snow. That's why he said as. As is a similitude of things, or something similar. Thing is bear, as goat. I hope we are following. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace. As
if they burn in a furnace. Okay, because Christ was a dark-skinned man. As if they were burnt in a furnace. Because Christ was very black. Firewood has the color of a brass. Burn firewood in a furnace, it turns black. Read.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
And his voice as the sound of many waters. Because Christ has a parallel tone. Christ has a deep voice. Read.
And he had in his right hand 7 stars. And out of his mouth went a sharp two-edged sword. And his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength. And his countenance was as the sun shining in his strength. So John is seeing Christ in the heaven, just like Enoch saw Christ. Not be so. Enoch said that the Most High's glory shine more brighter than the sun shining in his strength. So now, John is saying the same thing here. The same testimony, the same confession that Enoch saw is what John is saying. John said that Christ's luminance was as the sun shining in his strength. Read it again. And his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength.
Exactly. And his countenance was as the sun shining in his strength. Because Christ is the express image of his Father. They look alike. Read.
When I saw him, I fell at his feet.
So John said, and when I saw him, I fell at his feet. Because John was taken into the heaven. John saw Christ as he is. Not be so. John saw Christ with his glory, with his light, his luminance, that orb of light. Christ allowed John to see him. Read.
I fell at his feet as dead.
John fell at his feet as dead due to fear. Read.
And he laid his right hand upon me.
Yes.
Saying unto me, Fear not.
Fear not.
I am the first and last.
I am the first and the last.
I am he that liveth and was dead.
I am he that liveth and was dead.
And behold,
this is Christ. Because Christ was he that lived. And the Romans and his own people killed him. And behold,
I am alive forevermore.
I am alive forevermore. This Christ's resurrection and revealing to John. Verse 19, let's go.
Write the things which thou hast seen.
So Christ told John in verse 19, write the things which thou hast seen concerning me, my image, my look, my appearance, me wearing a garment, me being a black man. Write this thing down and do what?
Which thou hast seen.
Which you have seen.
And the things which are.
Because Christ knows that there will be a kingdom that will do what? Change his image. That's why most people in the world believe that Christ is a Caucasian or a white man. Because the Most High know that they will change his image. That's why he told John, he sent of the nation of the Bantu, write what you see and send it to the saints. Because he said that the Israel like the Ifrit. Because there will be a kingdom at the last days, beginning from me, downward to this our time, that will change the truth for a lie. As you are seeing this day, that's why you see most people believe that Christ is a white man. So what we are doing now is undoing that cause and that lie. Song of Solomon, let's go, chapter 1, verse 1.
Okay, the book of Song of Solomon 1 verse 1. The Song of Songs.
The Song of Songs,
which is Solomon's.
Which is Solomon's, verse 5.
I am black.
I am what?
I am black.
All the men I am what?
I am black.
I am what?
I am.
And when you look this black in the Strong Concordance, watch what it says. Strong number 87838. By definition, it says dusky. Dusky. It said, but also absolute. Jetty black. Jetty black, meaning very black. So Solomon was jet black, as if he poured in a furnace. Solomon said, I am black. Jetty black. Verse 5 again.
I am black. But comely.
Yes.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem. As the tent of Tidal.
Solomon says, I am black, I am jetty, jet black, but beautiful. That's comely. Comely means beautiful. Read.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem.
Yes.
Look not upon me, because I am black.
Look not upon me, because you see me black. Now when you look this black in verse 6 of Song of Solomon, Song of Solomon chapter 1 verse 6. When you look this black again, watch what he says, age 7840. It says by definition, Swati. Swati means black. Now when you go to your dictionary and define Swati, watch what it says. I will use my Merriam-Webster dictionary to define this Swati. Now watch this. This Swati in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it says of a dark color, complexion. So Swati has to do with the complexion, skin complexion. It says of a dark color, complexion or cast. Synonyms. It says black, dark, swat. Let's not go back there. Verse 6, let's read.
Look not upon me, because I am black.
So don't look at me because you see me black. Black is beautiful. Read.
Because the sun has looked upon me.
Because the sun has looked upon me. Read on.
My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyard.
Yes.
But my own vineyard have I not kept.
All right. Let's read. Job 30:30. Let's go.
KJV, the book of Job 30 verse 30. My skin is black upon me.
My what?
My skin is black upon me.
All the men, my what?
My skin is black upon me.
Read again.
My skin is black upon me.
My skin. My skin. So Job says, my skin is black upon me. When you look this black, it says to be dim or dark in color. You see that? To be dim or dark in color, meaning complexion. So Job said, my skin is dark upon me. Read.
And my bones are burnt with heat.
And my bones are burnt with heat. Lamentations 4 verse 8. Let's go. People are saying that black is evil. Who told you that darkness or black is evil? People that are the ones that are confused. Because God is a black man. Christ is a black man. Okay, he's choosing. They are black, dark in complexion. Read.
KJV, book of Lamentation 4 verse 8. Their visage is blacker than a coal.
Their visage on their face is blacker than a coal. Because visage simply means a face. Book, chapter and verse.
KJV, Lamentations 4 verse 8.
Read.
Their visage is blacker than a coal.
Yes.
They are not known in the streets.
They are not known in the streets.
Their skin cleaved to their bones.
Their skin cleaved to their bone because of famine, because Israel sinned, because Israel will not keep the Most High commandment. So therefore, God sent death or famine in the land. So therefore, Israel begin to suffer consumption or leanness. So this real skin here. So it's like their visage, their flesh is blacker than a coal. Because coal is very black, don't be so. Yes. Because coal is gotten from firewood, don't be so. Yes. And coal is very black. So it's like their visage is blacker than a coal, and their skin cleaved to their bone because of famine. There was famine in the land. So therefore, Jeremiah was lamenting for the children of Israel. That's why it is called the book of Lamentations. Their skin cleaved to their bone because there was a famine in the land. And not only that, there was cannibalism because there was famine. Read verse 10. It will tell you that. Verse 10.
The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children.
The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their children. Sodden means boy. So a woman that you know to be delicate have now become wicked. They boil their children. They kill their children and eat them. Read.
They were their meat.
They were their meat. So women begin to kill their children and cook them and eat them. They were their food.
in the destruction of the daughter of my people.
Exactly, because Israel sinned. So this real famine and real leanness, their visage is blacker than a coal. Their skin cleave to their bone. Because there was famine in the land, because Israel sinned. So God plagued them. And the women begin to eat their children for food, as meat or food. Because meat is food. Chapter 5 verse 10, let's go.
KJV, the book of Lamentations 5 verse 10.
Read.
Our skin was black like an oven.
Our skin was black like an oven. The same book, oh. The same book, chapter 5, verse 10. So Jeremiah is still lamenting. He says, our skin, our is more than one. Not be so. So Jeremiah said, our skin is what?
Was black like an oven.
So Jeremiah said, our skin was black like an oven. Why?
Because of the terrible famine.
Because of the terrible famine, there was famine in the land. I'm not making this up. So their skin was more blacker than an oven. Because the real Jews or Judah or Judites or sons of Jacobi, the one they call Jacob, they are black. Alright. Darkness is not evil. It is men who are evil. Acts 13 verse 1. Alright, let's go. Acts 13 verse 1.
Now they were in the church.
Now they were in the church. Let's go.
That was at Antioch.
That was at Antioch. So these are apostles of Christ. This after Christ's death, resurrection, and ascension. So these Christ disciples here in the book of Acts, Acts of the Apostles, read.
Certain prophets and teachers.
Read again from the top.
Now they were in the church.
Now they were in the church.
That was at Antioch.
That was at Antioch.
Certain prophets and teachers.
Certain prophets in plural and teachers in plural. Let's go.
As Barnabas.
And
Simeon.
And Simeon or Simon.
That was called.
That was called what?
Niger.
That was called what?
Niger.
That was called what the men?
Niger.
What is Niger?
Black.
Niger means black. Look for your dad. So they were in the church. Now remember, this is the King James Version. Use the King James Version. Acts 13 verse 1. They were in the church that was at Antioch. Certain prophets and teachers, such as Barnabas and Simeon or Simon Peter, that was called Niger or Niger. Niger is a Latin word meaning black. I'm not making this up. In your Bible is there. Acts 13 verse 1, King James Version. Niger is there. Nigeria. Does that make sense? Niger River. No, does that make sense? Because Niger means black. It makes sense. Niger is a Latin word. The Latin or the Romans that were ruling us during this time, they were calling us a byword name. Niger. Niger is another word for Negro or nigger, as they are doing this day. The Latin, the Roman Empire, we are calling the Jews Niger. See this Niger, see these Negroes. Because Niger and Negro, nigger, they mean the same thing. Do your research. The root word of Niger is Latin. During this time, the Romans were ruling, the fourth beast. Not be so? Let's confirm. Alright, read it again.
KJ, book of Acts 13 verse 1.
Now
they were in the church.
Now they were in the church. Church, now remember, church is not a building. Church is a people. Assembly of people. I'm a church. He's a church. You are a church. Church is not building. Church is people. Read. Church is an assembly of people, not building or land. Read.
That was at Antioch. Certain prophets and teachers.
Yes.
As Barnabas and Simeon.
Yes.
That was called Niger.
That was called Niger. Hold on. Here's the strong concordance for Niger. G35. G is Greek. G3526 for Niger. Watch what it says in definition. It says of Latin origin. Of Latin origin. Black. It says Niger, a Christian. Niger. You see that? So the original Christians were disciples of Christ, the Israelites. They were the original Christians who were black. That the Romans who speak Latin, they were giving the Israelites a byword name by Niger. Because God told Israel in the course in Deuteronomy 28 verse 37 that you become a byword and a proverb. So that cause pursue Israel. That's why God said, and all these things will overtake you and pursue you. So that cause of a byword pursue Israel from time of Moses to time of Christ, after Christ to this day. That's why you see to this day they are still calling you Niger River, Nigeria, because Nigeria still means black people. Not so. Nigeria is from the word Niger, Nigerian. meaning black people. The suffix IAN simply means people. Ghanaian, IAN is a suffix representing people. Not be so. Nigerian, IAN. Remove the IAN. Niger is black. Latin word. That was a byword. They were calling the Jews in the scripture, Acts 13 verse 1. The Romans were calling the Jews that were living in Antioch, okay, in Greece land, because Rome conquered Greece too. Greece was the third beast. Rome was the fourth beast. Rome took the kingdom from Greece. So the Jews that were living in Greece, the Romans that lived here, we are using Latin tongue to call them by a byword, a mockery word, or racism word. Niger, nigger, to this day. Not be so. Because the real Jews or the real Israelites are black, jet black, swarthy in complexion. Okay, it's not understood. Here in sub-Saharan Africa. Alright. So if God made his choosing, okay, in dark complexion, how can dark be evil? Not be so. Because dark is not evil. Darkness is not evil. It is people who are evil and don't understand the etymology or the origin of darkness. Darkness is good. Dark is good. Black is good. If you say that dark is evil, that means God choosing are evil. Not be so. That means Christ is evil. That means God is evil because God is black. Christ is black. Not be so. So if you say that dark is evil, dark is not evil. Dark is not evil. Light is not evil because God is both dark and light. Not be so. God is both dark and light. That's why he says, I formed the light and I create darkness, because darkness came out of God. Lightness came out of God. The two came out of him. So how can darkness be evil? Then only light is good. That's confusion. That's precept. 2 Corinthians 11 verse 14. Darkness is not evil. It is men who choose to use that time or hour of the day to do evil against their neighbor, not the angel of darkness, not man. Okay, so men are evil and choose to use the hour of darkness, the power of darkness, that angel's glory. Darkness is the glory of angels. Certain angels, their glory is darkness. Certain angels, their glory is light. Not so. But men choose to use the glory of the angel of darkness to do evil against their neighbor. So therefore, that tradition has not go over the years for people to believe that dark is evil. No, dark is not evil. But men choose to do evil in darkness. Not darkness evil. No. Is that understood? 2 Corinthians 11, 14 to 15.
The book of 2 Corinthians 11, 14. And no marvel. For Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
Read again.
And no marvel.
And no marvel.
For Satan himself.
For Satan himself,
is transformed.
Into
an angel. Of light.
Yes.
Therefore, it is no great thing.
Yes.
If his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness.
Is Lucifer an angel of or light or darkness? Is Lucifer an angel of light or darkness? No. Light. Luke 10:18. Let's go. Let's prove that.
Okay, the book of Luke 10 verse 18.
Yes.
And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning.
So Christ said unto his disciples, I beheld Satan as lightning, as a lightning fall. So I saw Lucifer falling down. Because Lucifer is an angel of light in that class. Now remember, lightning is an angel of his own. Lightning is an angel under light. Lucifer is an angel under light. Light has various category. Fire is an angel of light. Volcano is an angel of light. Light has so many categories. Thunder is also an angel of light. Sun is an angel of light. Moon is an angel of light. Stars are angels of light. So lightning that works with thunder in times of rain, these are angels of their own. These are under light. Lightning is under light. Let's go back there. 2 Corinthians 11:14.
The book of 2 Corinthians 11:14.
Read.
And no marvel.
Don't be surprised,
For Satan himself.
For Lucifer himself,
is transformed into an angel.
Is transformed into an angel of what?
Light.
Yes.
15. Therefore, it is no great thing. If his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness.
So therefore, evil can be done in both light and day. That's the point here. Evil can be done both in light and day. That's why I'm doing this precept. It is not the light or darkness that matter. It is people or angels that choose to rebel. Okay, now once again, there are angels of light that fell. There are angels of darkness that fell. There are men that fell, not be so. There are still good men. There are still good angels, not be so. There are still good angels of light. There are still good angels or holy angels of darkness. There are still holy men. Some has fallen, we agree. But not to say that one class all together is evil. No, that is wrong. Any question? Any question? If there be no question, wonders of our highest creation, hours of darkness comes to an end. Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
The King James Version, the book of Revelations 22, verse 10. And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come out quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter into the gates, into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. And the spirit and the bride say, come. And let him that heareth say, come. And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. The grace of Yeshua the Anointed be with you all. And we all say, so be it. Come Yeshua. All right. Ka. Tabarat. Wahalo. Kadash. Haya. Shamka. Ahaya. Walo. Hawalamjam. Walo. Hawalamjam. Bahashem. Yashaya. Aisha. Shamayam. Waharataza. Alashadia. Barakata. Tawana. So be it. Mighty men, daughters of Zion, you ready? Jacob is one. Choose that one, shadow one.